Let's get our planters built. Hi, I'm Rosemary, and you're watching Seasoned Living. In today's video, we're going to unbox and we're going to build one of these planters here. It's nice, it's rolling, it can be moved around on the deck or if you have a patio. So let's start by first opening the box. So today we're going to be putting together this planter that came, and it's by Best Choice Products that I ordered off of Amazon. I'll try to leave a link in the description box below. So let's go ahead, open it up. All right, here we have the bag of all of our screws and bolts, and they each come in their own marked bag. Then you're going to need a cordless drill if you have one. You don't have to use it. A hammer comes in handy if you just need to kind of tap something in place. And then a Phillips and a standard straight screwdriver. So here's our instruction manual. It's important when you're starting a project like this to open up the manual and make sure that the screws that they say that you need are in the box. So we've done that. We've also put all the pieces in their own little piles. So now we're going to begin, and our first page here of the assembly is going to be putting up the two end pieces of the planter. These are the legs, and if you'll notice on one end, or on both ends, they have holes, but on this end you can see there's a silver screw adapter inside. That means that's the bottom of the leg that the wheel will attach to, because this is a wheeled cart. We'll make sure right now that all our legs are facing the correct way, which they are, and we're going to need bag 1 with these size screws to start. So I'm going to open up the bag. So we're going to start with these two outer legs and make sure that the bottom metal piece where the wheel goes in faces down. And we're going to slide this piece into the little groove, and then we're going to place 3 screws in these 3 holes here. All right, we're going to do the same on this side. I'll do it this way so you can see a little bit better. There's a groove right here, and then this little piece fits right inside. Slide it all the way down. Lay it down. And we're going to go ahead and put the 3 screws in here. All right, so there's our end piece. And I'll do the other one just like it. All right, so we just slide this piece in the slot. I want to hold this up a little bit with my fingers because it wants to slide down and it needs to be all the way up and in. So now we're going to slide the bottom parts of the planter box in place. So we're going to need pieces D and E. And we're going to start with E. And there's a little runners that these pieces fit in, little grooves, I should say, or slots. Kind of tap it. Now we need a D, and you can see there's holes here for drainage. And I don't think it matters on the second piece here. It doesn't have the notches, so it doesn't matter which way it goes. We'll slide that in. Also another D. Pull it together if you have to get the grooves to all match. And here's our last piece, the other E, which faces with the notches out. All right, now we're ready to put the other end with the other legs on. So we'll line up the slots that are here with these end pieces. And the last three on this side here. The next pieces that we need to put together are these bolts. I believe they're called a barrel bolt. And you unscrew them. And there's a little hole in this end. All right, now we're going to put this barrel bolt in that I showed you. So the screw goes into the side here. And then you need to make your bolt. There's a little hole here, and you're going to put it up into the hole, making sure that this piece faces towards the screw. This piece is going to go up into the wood, and this screw is going to come through and make connection. So I need to put it up in this little hole. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get it to catch. All right, there she caught. They can be kind of tricky sometimes. All right. And there's 4 altogether. I have 1 more. Just put the screw in through the side over here. And then on this side here, you're going to drop that little bolt facing the screw. And then you're going to come out here and screw that into that little bolt. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it upside down because we're going to put some braces along this bottom. So let me get that turned upside down. And these are the 3 little brace pieces. This is letter F. So there's little notches. I'm going to face them. There's a little notch here, and I'm going to face it into the notch here. That way it fits nice and tight. You don't want to put it this way. You want to put it this way. And we're going to use the bag number 2 screws for these. All right, the braces are on. Now we're going to flip it back up the right side, and we're going to be putting the lower shelf that's on next. All right, now we're going to start with putting the rail on for attaching the shelf pieces. So we have a screw like this, a flat washer, and a nut. And if you'll notice on this board, there's little holes. These are markings so that when you put the shelf brackets on, that you can get them lined up properly. There's a hole here and a hole here. So we want to slide it behind here. You want to take your bolt, put it through, and then through the little hole on the other side. Then your flat washer goes on, then your nut. So the bolt goes through. Right. Then you put your little flat washer on, and then your nut. And we can tighten these up a little bit. Now I'll do the same on this side. Make sure that my little holes, make sure it's on the inside. Take my bolt, put it through, catch it on that hole. The bolt goes in here, catch it. Then you put the flat washer on first. Out here if you want. Now we're going to take our little strips here. These are the letter J. And these are the little pieces of wood strips that are going to make the shelf that's down below. So all I have to do is match up the little holes that are on this wood strip with the holes here. So basically, just match it up. and just continue to go down. And this is for number 6 screws go with this. Here you have your holes in your board that'll be for the shelf. And then you have the holes here. And you want to match up the holes to the holes. And then your next one, match up the holes with the holes. And just keep going down, match up the holes. Okay. And then we'll come back in and screw them. Alright, so all the slats are on, they're screwed on both sides. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the planter box on its side so that I can put the wheels on. So let me flip it and we'll come right back. Now there's 2 different kinds of wheels. There's the plain one, and then we have this one that has a lock on it, so that if you position it where you want it and you don't want it rolling around, you can just lock it. These just fit in here. Now here's a close-up of the planter, and we're ready to put the liner in now. Before I put it in, I wanted you to see the inside, that there are drainage holes, and try to make sure that your slots are approximately the same distance. They can be adjusted a little bit. So we're going to put the liner in next. Now the second to the last thing is the liner, and basically you just unfold it and just tuck the corners into the corners. Since there's no real way of keeping the liner fabric up, I'm just going to use some regular old Scotch tape here and I'll hold it up until we get the dirt filled in, until we actually get it finished here. And once you get the dirt in, you're not going to need that tape. You can just remove it. It's just there to kind of keep it up so that it's ready. Now our next piece is, and the last piece, are these little end caps that go on the corners like that. And so it requires a little wood peg and some screws. So we're down to our last little packet of screws. So what I'll do is I'll open up the pegs, the wooden pegs, which is number 4. In the center of each square there's a hole. Just put it in there. And you just take your little wood block for a decorative piece and match up the hole right there, like that. And then we're on to our last pack of screws, and that's here where you have the 2 little screws in each one to finish it off. So I'm just going to go ahead and place them all in there. Take the cordless screwdriver here and just put these in. wheels around nicely. If you want to lock it in place, just lock both of them. And now it's not going to go anywhere. Well, the planter box is all finished now. It works very well. We're ready to fill it with soil. So now if I have my plants along the deck, I can move it out and move it back. So until next time, enjoy your season.